Four, three, two, one. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining us from. This is going to be one of those fine episodes from the Story Warrior channel that you say, I am glad I watched it. I'm glad I watched it. Whether you're watching live or you're going to watch a delayed version of this, I can tell you this. I have in our studio, our virtual studio, which I consider a virtual fireside, a gentleman who is a trailblazer, a gentleman whom I consider an African fashion ambassador. And in case you're just joining for the first time, you must be wondering, but who are you speaking? Okay. Hold it on for a minute. This is the Story Warrior channel. My name is Gideon Fumukwai. I am the guy that I consider myself a product of Africa, produced in Asia, packaged in America, and distributed around the world. Whenever I find someone who is a true unsung hero, someone with an untold story, someone who's doing something unique and beautiful, it is always my great joy to bring them and share them with the world and share them with everyone, with my friends in Asia, my friends in the Middle East, my friends in Africa, my friends in Europe, and yes, my friends right here in America. Today we have Mr. Duplex Sachet. He also has another name, Don Plexo. I really love that name, Don Plexo, so much.
Thank
It's a
you.
very cool name. It's super cool. I wish I had such a cool name, but I am Gideon Fumukwai. Fumukwai is a long name. I can't even pronounce it myself, but I'm delighted that Don Plexo is joining us today. Hey, Don Plexo, where are you joining us from?
I'm joining from Toronto, Canada.
Toronto, Canada. And as
Yes.
I say, I see you as a fashion ambassador. But I was looking through your profile and all it said was entrepreneur. I'm thinking, is that an understatement? Why did you choose to put entrepreneur? You didn't put anything about fashion design because you're a man of fashion.
So I actually wrote a fashion entrepreneur. So
Okay.
fashion entrepreneur, it embodies all fashion designing, fashion marketing, and a
Mm.
whole lot of different aspects in
I
fashion.
think that's even interesting. That fashion entrepreneur, yes. That means you include all the things that go on. What I said, logistics is getting into the market. You do all of that. So you do it
Exactly.
all. You do it all.
Exactly.
But your name, Duplex. I think that name needs a little bit of unpacking. Or your stage name, or your performance name, or your the other one, Don Plexo. Tell me something about Don Plexo. Tell me something about Duplex because both of them seem to pack a lot.
Yeah. So Duplex is actually my real name.
Mm,
It's my first name.
mhm,
Um, Domplexo is a name given to me by my friends. We watched a lot of mafia movies,
mm,
Don Corleone, and back in the days when we used to act like dons,
mm.
like mafias, like bosses.
Okay,
Yeah, we used
okay.
to dress up well and go out there and act like put our
Yes,
cigars and act like
yeah,
bosses. So
yes.
because of all that, my friends started calling me Don.
Flexo.
So the
Oh
name
my goodness.
Don Plexo just came from there.
I tell you what, I saw one of your photos somewhere. It looked pretty dope. It was you. I mean, you had a mighty cigar, or was it a pipe? It looked uber cool. I'm like, when I grow up, I want
Well,
to look as cool as that. Now, I've lost all my hair. I got no beard. I got no mustache, so I can't even play that character. But I think that is a great stage name for someone who is in the world of fashion.
right.
And I'm very curious about your world of fashion. When did you get started with your business as an African fashion ambassador, especially representing the cultures of Cameroon? Am I right? When did you get started?
So I started Afric Fashion in 2017. Yeah, I used to work in the oil field as a occupational health and safety advisor,
Okay.
and it was quite tough because we always work out of town, like in the
Yes.
middle of nowhere.
Hmm.
And then through that time, every time I have a time off, I usually travel back home a lot, and then that is when I got so attracted to African fashion because when I go back home,
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
see a lot of creatives.
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of people coming up with beautiful African fashion,
Mm-hmm.
and then I always give my ideas like how I want my own outfits to look like,
Yes.
and there we go. Like whenever I go back home, I create my own styles, come back
Mm.
here, put it on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wanted it. Everybody wanted it. So I'm like, okay, um, this could make a good business, you
There you
know.
go. There you
So
go.
I kept doing it. I did it for a while. Then I realized that the number of people that were
Yes.
putting in their orders
Yes.
were getting higher by the day.
No kidding.
So that is where Afric Style Fashion came to birth. So when I started Afric Style Fashion in 2017, by 2018 it was doing well. 2019 I moved from Alberta to Toronto because of Toronto has more diverse
Mm-hmm.
community
Mm-hmm.
and it's way bigger than where I was before. I was in Alberta,
Mm.
so I actually resigned from my occupational health and safety job to focus on this one because I
Wow.
saw what was coming off
Yes.
from it. And then, yeah, that's how I started Afric Style Fashion. And there we go.
I am so proud of you. So you made a ton of money from the about a better oil fields, so to speak. This is me just paraphrasing what I'm understanding. And you said, you know what? I could take some of these and take Africans fashion to the world. And you
Exactly.
decided to move yourself from Alberta all the way to Toronto. And then, boom, did it explode or is it still exploding? Is it still about to explode?
Well, it's still exploding. It's still
Exploding.
exploding because
Very good.
the vision is to get the whole African
Yes.
Caribbean community, right?
Yes.
For
Yes.
now, I would say 60% of our patrons are from Cameroon.
I
Then the other
see.
40% are from other parts of Africa and the Caribbean community.
Okay.
So it is still exploding because we still have a lot of work to do. We still have a lot to
Yes.
put in.
Okay. And I tell you what, the way I first heard about you was somewhere around 2020 during the peak of the pandemic. I was trying to rebrand myself as somebody who, yes, I'm an educator, but I'm also a curator. I like to see great ideas and I fine tune them and I share them with the world. So I had stumbled on some of your designs somewhere. I love them. I asked a friend and a good brother, Mr. Valentine Munge. I said to him, "Man, I want to be able to acquire something that looks this good." He said to me, "I know the person who designed that." I said, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" I thought maybe this came from Paris or somewhere or Douala. Or he said, "I know the person." I said, "Can you give me the number?" He gave me a number. I think I called. We talked. But then we were in the process of moving, and I think we finally lost touch. But as you said, about 60% of your market or your buyers are from Cameroon. This is where I'm going with this. So about 3 weeks ago, I brought a brother from Uganda who has never heard about Afric Style, and
Right.
we went to one of your shops in Dallas, Texas, and we met your collaborator, Edith Piqua. And believe it or not, when he saw it, he loved it. And he is on the verge of placing some orders all the way from Silicon Valley in California. So when you
Wow.
have created something that's beautiful, I tell you, not only people from Cameroon, we're going to enjoy it, other people, more and more people, once they get access to this, they would love it. And I intend
Right.
to do another short version, short conversation with him wearing the Cameroon maillot or the Cameroon sleeveless, because I bought one and he got one. So we're gonna do a short, quick, maybe 5-10 minute conversation about representing Africa in the best way possible. So my point I'm making here is, yes, as you say, it's exploding. The more and more you get the word out, the more and more people would know. So I did my own little job, brought this new brother to the shop, and he left it. And I would hope more and more people watching Story Warrior channel go check out our freak style. I'm getting ahead of myself here. I want to go back. Let's dig up the backstory before we talk about where they can find a freak style, because you have some unique fashions.
Right.
So you started designing more and more. more and more people started to place orders. They love what you're doing. And at what point did you say, you know what, I'm going to expand this because I see you have a huge variety of items. You even have some that are sportswear. Tell me,
Right.
at what point did you say, you know what, I'm going to expand this thing beyond just formal wear to informal wear?
So before COVID-19, we used to do only the formal and the casual wears, right?
Hmm.
So when COVID hit,
Hmm.
everything was slow. Like
Wow.
the market was slow.
Hmm.
People were not going out, so they were not buying clothes.
Hmm.
Then what I noticed is a lot of people went into fitness because they were staying
Mm.
home doing
Yeah.
nothing. So a lot
Yep.
of people were working out at their homes and
Mm.
all that. So as a fitness enthusiast, I
Hmm.
have always wanted to associate sportwears into my
Hmm.
brand. So I
I
took that
see.
as a perfect opportunity since a lot of people got into working out since they were not doing anything, any
I see.
active stuff.
I
So
see. Wow.
I that is when I created. So I created the sports brand of African Style
Hmm.
Fashion in May of 2020.
Wow.
So it was released in I think June or July of 2020.
Yes.
When I released it, it went wild.
No kidding.
It went wild. Like the way people received these
Responded. Yeah.
products,
No
I was
kidding.
so impressed. I was so proud of myself. And then from there, I just kept going.
This is impressive. So COVID bended the course,
That's
bended the
right.
course of your business. You were initially
Yes.
going on this trajectory, but then COVID came and knocked you and said, "Hey, brother, turn in that direction." You turn in that direction, and the whole thing exploded even better. That's
Yeah. No, I
interesting.
knew. I knew at one point I was going to associate the
Mhm.
sportswears into my brand,
I
but
see.
I I didn't know it would come so soon. So
Wow.
COVID gave me the perfect opportunity to do that, and
Wow.
ever since I launched the brand, the sportswears, it's been
Yes.
doing well. It's been
Yes.
doing well. So I've done the fitness wears.
Mhm.
Now, what is actually doing pretty well now is soccer jerseys and tracksuits.
Yes.
I'm producing for a lot of the veteran teams
Teams
in the US, in
around. Yes,
Canada.
and there are lots of
Yeah,
veteran teams. About how many veteran teams are there, if I may ask?
their last tournament in Atlanta, they were like 34, if I'm not mistaken, 34, 36.
Hmm.
So far, I have about 10 teams
Mm.
that I'm
Bye.
working with. And
Wow.
right now, this is the time where they're coming for jerseys and tracksuits. So I'm still in talks with a lot of other teams.
I
Yes.
am so happy to hear that. But yes, I know Toronto is more diverse, certainly more than Alberta. But Toronto is not necessarily very high up on the totem pole of fashion cities. I thought maybe you moved to Milan. I thought maybe you moved to Paris. You moved to New York. Why Toronto? Is it because I mean you
It-
obviously
it-
live in Canada?
yes, I'm in Canada, so Toronto here is
Okay.
like our own Milan.
Well, on. Fair enough.
Here is like our own New York,
Okay.
right? So
Yeah.
it's after I moved here in Toronto
Mhm.
that I started thinking bigger.
I see.
Then I started entering the US market.
Yes.
And
Okay.
I'll say about 70% of my business now is from the US.
From US. Wow.
Yes.
Very
So
interesting.
yeah, so when I moved to Toronto, I mean there was a huge difference
Yeah.
between Toronto and Alberta,
I
where I was
better.
before.
That's right.
But now I want to think higher, like what
Yes.
next?
Yes.
And the next place that came to my mind was the US. And I
Okay.
was fortunate to have a brand ambassador like Eddie Piqua,
Yes.
who was first a customer because
Okay.
she bought a couple of pieces and she actually did a photo shoot with
No
the
kidding.
pieces she bought,
Yes.
right? And you know
Yes.
how she is. She's out there,
She's an
so
influencer. Yeah, she's an
she's an
influencer.
influencer. So when she
Yes.
put it out there,
Wow.
all her friends wanted it. So
Yes.
that is when I was like, okay, I would like to work with you. Let's do this together. Let's build this
Wow.
brand together. And she believed in me. And then, boom,
I
a
love
few years.
collaborations. I love collaborations because Were it not for that collaboration, we will probably not be talking now, because
Exactly.
it is Edith who said to me, if you like that and you like that and you want something even more unique, why don't you talk to the designer? I'm like, who's the designer? I don't want to start calling someone in Milan. I don't want to start calling someone in Paris. My Italian is not that good. My French is okay, but
Right.
then she said the designer is in Toronto. I'm like, okay, Toronto. All right, let me have the name. And she gave the name. Then I'm like, wait a minute. I think I know this dude. I think I know this brother. I think I know this
Right.
amazing designer. But so the power of collaborations, that actually means there's still a whole lot more. Imagine you have new brand ambassadors like Edith in places like New York, in places
Right.
like Paris, in other parts of the world. What could this brand be? Where do you see this brand going, say, in the next 3 years, in the next 5 years? And if you could stretch enough, in the next 10 years?
So that is what I'm actually working on right now, because when I see the way what Edith Piqua has contributed to African
Mhm,
style fashion
mhm.
is very impressive. And now what I'm looking for is to collaborate with people from different communities.
I see. I see.
I'm actually in talks with some African American influencers,
Yes, sir.
some Nigerian influencers, all in the US,
Yes.
and some even some artists,
Yes.
some soccer players, some popular figures, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So I'm actually in talks. I want to get the different communities. If I
Hmm.
get the all the different communities, I'm pretty sure the brand will be up there,
Yes.
right? So that is our main mission this year.
Okay.
I'll be traveling to the US a lot to talk to some of these people, and once we get a deal, I'm sure we will African Star Fashion will be a household name for everyone.
There you go. I would definitely love to play a small part. I'm a media guy, little guy that is always talking about people who are doing authentic things. What drew me to your brand is the authenticity. And then because authenticity shows me a piece of the heart of the person, of the creator. And if the heart is pure, the heart is genuine, I go after that kind of person. It's not about millions, it's not about billions. I'm looking for someone with a genuine heart that's doing something that's unique in the world. That's what drew me to you. So if it becomes a
And just
household name.
just just to just to add on that, like
Mhm,
your previous guests, two of your previous guests are people I look up to.
mhm.
You know, when I saw
Interesting.
when I saw when I saw you receive all those people,
Mhm,
I'm like, okay, it's really an honor for me to be here because, um, like Mr. Gabriel, Mr.
mhm.
Gabriel, I we
Geniebox,
are on
yeah.
the same NVT group, so
Oh, I see.
I see him
Yes,
share all his counselor stuff,
I
and
see.
the first time I met him, one of our clients, the Pinyin Development Association,
Yes.
they invited me for their fundraising
Wow.
because they actually purchased a lot of polo t-shirts, over
Mhm.
300 pieces from me.
There you
So they
go.
invited me for their fundraising. When I went
Yes.
to the fundraising, the owner of the venue is Mr. Gabriel.
That Mr. Gabriel Geniebo, the one running for Congress.
Yes,
What a small
yes. So
world.
I met
What a
him there.
small.
We exchanged for a few minutes, and
Wow.
then Miss Delphine, one of
Yes.
your guests
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
She's actually mentoring one of my very good friends,
Okay.
Anu Franklin.
My phone keeps buzzing. I don't know what's going on. These people, they have to wait. I'm talking now. Whoever is calling, please. I'm talking to Don Plex. I'm talking to Mr. Duplex Sachet, the man who is taking African fashion to the world. Please hold that call. I'm not going to talk to you right now. Please hold that call. Let's go ahead.
Mhm.
Yes, go ahead. So
Yeah,
you
so
you
so
you,
Miss
you also
Delphine is mentoring one of my friends, Anu Franklin.
okay.
He talks a lot about her, and I've been following her. I actually saw her at the Atlanta NVT.
Yes.
She's a cool person. Yeah.
She spoke there. Yeah, she's doing some incredible work, and I
Yes.
have benefited from her work. I took some mentorship from her because we're branching out into real estate development at some point. And
Right.
yes, these are people that are doing inspiring work, and that's the same reason why I know you're here. You're doing inspiring work. It's not everybody who will
Thank you.
say, "I'm quitting my job in oil, which is very lucrative, and I'm gonna
Oh yeah.
go." do fashion, which is very difficult to prove. There's no trail. You're creating something from scratch. And for me, whenever someone is creating something from scratch, it catches my attention because first, I'm also a creator of some sorts. I don't always want to follow the track that is already laid down. I want to go make my own track because that's what gives me satisfaction. So you
Right.
are standing shoulder to shoulder with those giants in your field. Nobody's better than you. And guess what? I've approached some other fashion designers from Cameroon. With all due respect, I appreciate them and I admire their work, but they did not make themselves available. So you took the time to sit down and have this conversation with me. And right now, right here, in the course of this conversation, I just know someone that will easily be purchasing some of your services. And it will be my job to find a way to introduce you to some other people, multimillionaires in a different field, financial services. So it will be my pleasure to introduce you to those guys in that community because they would love to have someone like you. And I now see a different picture because I see how myself, my wife, and our own brokerage firm, we can take advantage, or we can come to you and have some specially designed elements for us to use in our services and our outreach.
Right.
Yeah, but what still piques my interest is you start this from scratch, and at what point did you tell yourself, man, this is worth everything? Because I imagine you travel a lot between here and Africa, or I don't know, it's Vietnam or it's Cambodia or wherever your sweatshops may be located. At what point do you say, you know what? I'm not only taking this full time, but I can see myself doing this for the rest of my life.
Doctor, when you're doing something, you see the results. When you see the result, it
Yes.
either encourage you to work harder, or
Hmm. Hmm.
it discourage you. You
Okay.
know. So if I'm still here,
Yeah.
putting in all these efforts for since 2017,
To
it
now,
means it's doing well.
yes, something is
Like I'm
doing
seeing
something.
the outcome. I'm seeing the outcome. It's not
Love
that
to
easy.
hear that. Of
It's quite challenging, but you
course.
know, it was something I was expecting, because
Yes.
this is not
It's
an
not for
easy
everyone.
easy
Yeah.
trail. It's not for
Yes.
everyone.
It's not for
You know,
everyone. And
especially people have that notion. A lot of people have that notion when it comes to African fashion. They kind of judge the quality,
yes.
and that is
Yes.
what we're fighting. That is what we're trying to
Okay.
disprove them, that African
Yes.
fashion can also have the same quality like
Yes.
all the other big brands.
Yes. Yes.
Like, you
Why
would
not?
tell me that Lacoste
Hmm.
is better than this one I'm wearing.
There you go. There you go.
So it's
Wow.
been quite challenging, but I keep doing my best to bring out the quality and let them
Yes.
know that
Yes.
African fashion can be
Yeah.
compared to all those big brand names.
That is amazing. Now, did you have any design background, design skills growing up in Cameroon or later on when you work in Alberta, Canada?
Self-taught, no designing background,
No kidding.
no designing background. So
How?
basically, it was just the fact that when I go back home, I
Yes.
create something myself. I tell the guys, okay, I want this pattern
Mm.
to be like this. I want this to be like this. Then
Hmm.
I bring it back, and the
Mm.
way people love
Responded.
them, that is
Yes.
what that is how I started. And then the more you do these things, the more you
Yes.
get used to, and the more
Of
you become better and better.
absolutely. So, do you now have like a warehouse somewhere, say in Douala, Cameroon, Yaoundé, in Garoua, Cameroon, with hundreds of tailors or dozens of tailors that are dedicatedly working on your outfits? Or you doing business out of China, out of India, out of Pakistan, out of some of those places that are very famous for uh, cotton products? Where
Okay,
your where your
so
tailors from?
yeah, so when I started the brand, I started in Cameroon,
Hmm.
right? I had a shop in Cameroon,
Mm.
uh, where they were doing all the productions.
Yeah.
And then, not discrediting Cameroon, but the guys were not doing a good job.
Mm.
They were not doing a
Okay.
good job.
Okay.
So, I took the business to to Benin, to Cotonou,
Benin. Okay. Cotonou. Okay.
to
Okay.
Cotonou. So when I got to Cotonou, um, those guys they love what they do and they know what they want.
Wow.
So a lot of my productions, like the Agbadas, the Senator wears, all the stuff I do them. I have my production house in Cotonou. It
Wow.
has about 15 workers. Then one other thing that I did when I just started, I was doing blazers with our
Hmm.
African patterns in
Yeah.
Turkey.
Yes.
I was doing
Blazers.
that in Turkey.
Yes.
Um, it was actually good. Like they were doing well, you
Hmm.
know. But at one point, I'm like, okay, why would I take this business to Turkey when I can
Mm.
take it back to Africa? And
Mm.
because the one of the ideas of African style fashion is to promote the African fashion
Yeah.
and to promote our own African brothers,
Yes, sir.
right? So I took it back to Africa,
Mm.
right?
Wow.
So all my
Wow.
production now is in Africa, except for the sport wears.
Okay.
And for the sport wears, I do them in Turkey,
Hmm.
and this is because for now we can't really find the quality
Okay.
fabric that I'm
Oh.
using in Africa. But
Okay.
now I'm working on getting everything to Africa, getting the machines, the
Hmm.
fabric quality, so I can hire more people in Africa and do
Hmm.
all the productions in Africa.
This,
But
this.
that takes a lot. That takes a lot.
Yes. Very
Takes a lot.
insightful. Very insightful. So not only would you find the machines, but also make time to find somebody to go train the people in your
Exactly.
fashion production center, and also make sure that the technology transfer and the skill transfer is done effectively so that it continues
Exactly.
to represent the quality of your products. Because
Right.
I bought the white sleeveless Cameroon jersey. Some people call it French maillot, maillot
Mhm.
blanche, maillot jaune, maillot vert. I love it so much. And the first time somebody got me a copy or a sample of the green sleeveless Cameroon maillot or jersey, that became very popular at the Sydney 2000 Olympic Games. I don't know where you were in 2000, but Sydney 2000 Olympic Games, I was living in Singapore. So my Singaporean friend by name Andrew Ng, he had traveled to US and he saw the green sleeveless. It was a stunner because nobody had ever worn the sleeveless, and it created a lot of stir internationally. He brought it
Mhm.
back to me in Singapore, and I wore it with pride. I still have it with me now. I can maybe finally retire it because now you've produced the white, and I love the white very much. But where were you in 2000 when Cameroon started wearing the sleeveless? I hope I'm not
In
making
2000,
you.
no, 2000, I was still in Cameroon.
Okay,
I was still in
2000.
Cameroon. Yeah,
I,
I
I
think, yeah,
watched
2000. I was in UB.
UB. Okay, I'd left
Yeah.
to UB in '97, and
Okay.
then working in Singapore at that time. But it was a big deal. It was a big deal. Everybody loved it, and Serena Williams, believe it or not, wore it too,
What that?
and
Yes,
the
I saw
whole
that.
world was celebrating that. It was something
Mhm.
genuinely African, and it created a notoriety. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it got a lot of attention, and when I wore it, people could see distinctly that I carried my national colors.
Yeah.
Even though there's been a lot of politicization of that. But Mr. Sasha, if I'm not wrong, you are a very insightful entrepreneur. You sure know your numbers, and it looks like you have Bamileke blood. That means this thing is flowing through you. Isn't that true? It's actually running your bloodstream, isn't it?
Mhm.
So
I don't know.
business is right in your bloodstream. It's written all over you. So maybe it was just waiting for someone like you to come up at the right time, understand the world, but also have that DNA to say, you know what,
Right.
take this anywhere and succeed. Because I don't know how many people can go run Turkey, run Benin, or is it Cotonou, run Cameroon, and I'm sure there are other things that you're doing. So, what else is coming up from Afrique Style Fashions? What else do we expect to see in the pipeline the years ahead?
We got a lot. We got a lot. This business, you need to be consistent.
Mhm.
You need to be consistent. You need to be creative. You need to come up with new things all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like for the jerseys you were talking about, the
Yeah.
past two AFCONs, I attended the one in Cameroon,
Mm-hmm.
and after that, I attended the one in Ivory Coast.
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, those two events, I sold over 2 to 3 thousand pieces of those the African style Cameroon jerseys.
Wow.
We have a lot of celebrities in Cameroon that actually wore them during the Afcons. We we,
Wow.
we partners with a lot of we partner with a lot of artists.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Even players. We have
Mm-hmm.
people like Spy Collins. He has a
Mm-hmm.
piece.
Wow.
Eno.
Wow.
He has a piece. Eyon Eno. Like
Wow.
we I
Hmm.
try to reach out to people like Eto. It's not
Mm-hmm.
easy, but we're
Mm-hmm.
still
Mm-hmm.
working.
Yeah. It's a work in
Yeah,
progress.
so
Yeah.
we have a lot. We have a lot coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're working on a project that we actually want to release that in July.
Mm-hmm.
For all the medical field workers. I'm not going to talk about it. I just want to.
Hello.
I just want
Hello. Medical
to.
people, watch out. Medical people, watch out. Don
Yeah, I
Flexo
just.
is coming for your money,
Yeah,
but
I'm
in a
coming. I'm
positive
coming
way.
for them.
In a positive way. Tell us. Give us just a little inkling here. Break a little bit, just a little bit of the news here, because hey,
You know.
I am the greatest supporter of people with authentic, original ideas, unsung heroes
Right.
with untold stories. This is a story warrior channel. We give you slivers of what's coming in the pipeline. Give us just a little bit.
I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of friends that are in the medical field.
Mm,
I see them all the time. I see them post from work. I see them posting their stuff around, and
mhm,
usually when I see what they wear, it's
mhm.
basically the same thing everybody wears.
Yes,
The same
yes.
colors, the same thing. So we're trying to bring something different.
Mm,
We're trying to bring something different. So
mm.
that is what we're working. That's all I can say for now because we still.
Okay, okay. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. I'm zipping up my mouth. But also, let me tell you
then
this.
I also just released something new. It's new graphic style fashion and it's actually doing well right now. This is a period for it. I think I'm going to show you. I have a couple of samples here.
Please, 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 please. While
So
Mr. Duplex is
we Africans we come here. We go to school.
mhm.
We graduate, and then on graduation day we all wear the
Yeah,
normal
the sashes,
stores that
yeah, yeah.
the normal stores that doesn't represent
Wow.
us. So we
Yes.
came up with this,
There you
you know,
go.
to
There you
represent
go.
our identity,
Yes,
you
sir.
know.
I wish I
So
could. I don't know if you can ship one to me this week. I would be ordering one. I want to take it down to DC, where I'll be going to attend someone getting a doctorate degree, and I'm going to order another one. So I'm going to be wearing my own doctoral hat. So if I could have one or two of these shipped to me this week ASAP,
exactly.
I will make good use of them, and I will continue to carry them forward. Sometimes I go to do commencement speeches at
Right.
colleges. So I would definitely be a customer of that. I'll be a customer
Yeah.
of yours.
So
So,
basically, this ones they come. We have a generic version
mhm.
that says class of 2022,
Yeah,
2024. Sorry, and then here it says I made it. One side
yeah,
says I made it. One side says proud of myself. And
yes.
then we also do customized. We also do
Wow,
customized. So a lot of
wow.
so far we just launched it like a month ago. We sold
Hmm.
over 100 pieces.
No kidding.
Customized. So for the customized,
Yes,
so like we put the name here,
yes,
and then here we
yeah,
put if it's PhD, if it's MSN, if it's BSc,
yeah.
we put it here, and
Mhm.
then down here we still have class of
Okay.
2024. So yeah,
That is
basically
creative.
that's what I'm talking about consistency. Like
That's creative.
we try to create new things all the time.
So, as you were talking about that, I have another contact for you that is into healthcare or on the verge of getting to healthcare, but not quite there. It may be worthwhile that you gentlemen speak. He's based in
Okay.
Houston. He's very successful in other areas, but he's beginning to get into healthcare outfits. And now that you like creative pieces, I got good news for you. I have one other person to connect with you, but I'm just happy this conversation is going in
Thank
the
you
right.
so much. Thank you so much. I'm
Yes,
looking
yes,
forward to that.
yes. So, can you describe a typical day for Mr. Duplex Sachet, the man of Afrique Styles? You wake up in the morning. What keeps you busy? all the way till you go to bed. Give us a random day. And I know you love exercise very much. We'll come to that very soon.
Yeah, so basically when I wake up, the first thing I do is I like I exercise.
Okay.
I exercise. Then once I grab my phone,
Oh,
you
by the
know.
way, I just did my 3 miles this morning, so I'm not comparing with you, but I just did my 3 miles. So I'm just putting that in there. So UB goes, UB grads love exercise. I just did my 3 miles, and I'm sure
every
you probably did way more than that.
every little step counts. Every little
Okay,
step counts. It doesn't
thank
matter
you,
if it's one
thank you,
mile, 2 miles,
thank
so
you,
long as you're
thank you,
out there doing
thank
something,
you, thank you.
it is very important, doctor. It is
So
very important.
you start your day with exercise.
So I
That's
start with
amazing.
an
Thank you.
exercise, then when I once I grab my phone, because I like every day I try to get better, right? Like so I take some online courses on
Hmm.
Udemy. Like right now I'm doing graphic designing, and I'm taking
Mm,
graphic designing and digital marketing the same time,
mm,
so I work on that.
mm-hmm.
Then I always try to see I can what uh what I think about something else to do, like what
Yes,
um what I can create. Like
new
every day I
creation.
try to create something new, right?
Wow, wow.
And always communicate with my with Edith Piqua, because she's
Hmm.
very, 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 very helpful.
Hmm.
We always put our heads together to see
Wow.
how we can do, especially when it comes to marketing, because marketing is our main challenge right now, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
So we talk a lot, try to see how we can really get this product out there,
Hmm.
try to see how we can get into the different communities. So
Hmm.
I work on that a lot every day. That's why I'm trying to do this digital marketing course,
Hmm.
so that it's going to help me to
To market
get
a
a,
business.
get the knowledge of
Yes,
how to
yes.
get
Get the word
business
out.
out there to the different
Yes,
communities, to the whole world. Because
yes.
at the end of the day, one of our mission is to take African fashion, to showcase African fashion to the world through
Hmm.
fashion.
Okay.
So
Hmm.
yeah. So yeah, basically exercise, learning,
Hmm.
um, communicate with my brand ambassador,
Hmm.
trying to get a plan for the day.
Hmm.
Yeah, especially now, uh, I have about 19 veteran teams that I have to talk to them
Okay.
before the end of this month.
Hmm.
You
To
know,
finalize
try to
finalize the
finalize,
orders.
try to get
The
the
orders.
market.
Mhm.
Like
Okay.
then I just found out that there's the DMV veteran league is going on right now.
Yes.
In that league, I've seen a lot of teams that I don't have their contacts,
Hmm.
because what I do is I go to every league and I try to get
Mm.
a contact of all the clubs,
Fair enough. Fair
so
enough.
that
Okay.
I can communicate
I
with them and try to get market.
have you gotten your word into Ohio? Because I may have contacts in Ohio for you. That people that run clubs in Ohio or some of those clubs.
I think I've spoken with the president of the Ohio veteran,
Okay.
but yeah, we still haven't worked
Okay.
together.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
I would potentially make a list of things that are people that I know from different walks of life that I could connect to you. But so let's say someone is in New York City, someone is in LA. Tell us, do you have distributors in these big cities or even back home in Cameroon or in other African countries? There's a huge Cameroonian population in countries like South Africa. Tell us, where do you have distributors and where can people find you?
So in the US, everything comes from Dallas.
Everything starts from Dallas.
Yeah,
Okay.
everything comes from Dallas. We have our warehouse in Dallas with Eddie Piqua. I
Mhm.
saw the one you visited,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah, so everything comes from there. And even here, I have a lot of I have like a warehouse here too.
Mhm.
So we take care of US, and we also ship to Europe,
Mhm.
right? Excuse me. So in Cameroon, I had a store in Cameroon. I opened a store in Cameroon in 2022.
Mhm.
2022.
In
Yeah, I
which
mean the first
in
year
which in which
it was
city?
in Douala. The first year
Okay.
was doing well, then the second year it slowed down.
Mhm.
So the reason, because I mean these things I'm doing, they are good quality products, right?
Yes.
They're good
Yeah.
quality products. I I don't want to do anything less than the quality I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
So I took it. I took this product to Cameroon, especially the sportwears. People love them. Like a lot of celebrities, actors,
Mm-hmm.
actresses,
Mm-hmm.
um, musicians. They have
Mm-hmm.
them. They have them, right?
Mm-hmm.
They know the quality.
Yes.
But now in the market, we're used to the fiperies. We're
Yeah.
used
Yeah.
to buy
Cheaper.
using 5,000 francs to
Yeah.
get a complete set that you
Yeah.
wear once, twice, and it's all gone.
Yeah.
When I opened that store, I actually reduced the price. It's the same quality that I sell here in the US, but I
Mm-hmm.
actually reduced the price for the Cameroon market.
Yeah.
But still,
It still didn't fly.
wanted it lower,
Yeah.
you know. And I could not do that because the transportation to Cameroon, the
Yeah. Yeah.
customs, how our customs is,
Customs
and
messed up.
then I still reduce the price,
Yeah.
but you know,
At some
so
point,
at some point I'm like, okay,
it doesn't make a smart business decision just
yeah.
because I'm from here to continue
So
selling here.
I actually didn't do my due diligence before opening that store because
Okay.
now I know what to do. Like
Okay.
I don't need to open a store. I just need to get a distributor.
I
And
see.
I'm actually talking to one very prominent distributor in Cameroon. He's I
Mm-hmm.
am 237.
Mm-hmm.
He's big in the francophone community,
Yeah.
and he has accepted to
I am
collaborate with me.
237. I think I know the founder of I am 237.
Yes, so
Yes.
we actually chatted last December when I was in Cameroon, and
Okay.
he's ready to take the active wear, the sport wears
Wow. Wow.
into his. He has about I think if I'm not mistaken about 10 shops around Cameroon. So
Mm-hmm. That's
yeah,
interesting.
so that would be better than me having my
Yeah.
own
Out
place.
which would you're gonna have to look after the overheads and have an employee on your payroll. But if you have a distributor, they will take care of that because they may have to
Exactly,
integrate into a whole line of products that they already have.
exactly. So
What about other?
we're working on that right now. So hopefully by summer, by midsummer, everything will be finalized, and then people in Cameroon now can start enjoying the product.
Okay, so what three lessons can you say you've learned from studying African styles, fashions? Three business lessons for other entrepreneurs like you. I'm also an entrepreneur. I know many entrepreneurs. I consummate fellow entrepreneur like many others out there. What three business lessons would you have for us in the course of creating, designing, and taking new products to the market? It doesn't have to be just about fashion. General lessons on business.
The first lesson I would say is don't quit your job until you know that what you're getting into is going to
That's a good
sustain
one.
you. You
Number
know,
one, don't quit your job until what you're doing is sustainable. Okay. What's
right?
number
Because
two?
I from experience, I had a tough time at the beginning.
Okay.
When I moved to Toronto, it was still kind of slow. Then
Yeah.
slowly it picked up. It's
Okay.
a new city, right?
Thank
It's a new
goodness you
city.
made it. Thank goodness you made it. Okay. So what's
Yeah,
number
it's
two?
a, it's a, it's a new city, so I had to penetrate
I-
gradually.
yes,
I had to
yes,
get into the African community, the Caribbean community. So I
yes,
slowly got to,
yes.
got to all these communities, and then
Mhm.
things got better.
Very
So yeah,
important.
that's one thing. Then second thing is it takes a lot when you're in the fashion industry.
Mm.
It takes a lot of your time, especially if you're creative. If you're
Mhm.
creating your own
Mhm.
designs, if you're creating everything for yourself, it
Yes.
takes a lot.
Okay.
So if you're trying to get into it, make sure you're getting into it. Make sure it's something that you have the
Passion?
passion. Exactly.
Okay.
Make
Okay.
sure you
All
have
right.
the passion for it, because
Okay.
if you don't have the passion for it, if you just go in there because you see people getting into the business, then
Yes.
you can just start buy. You can just do buy and sell. Go buy
Yeah.
from Cameroon and sell.
So
But
okay.
if you try to create your own stuff, it takes a lot of
Mm.
time. So make sure you have that time,
Okay.
because that
Time
time
and
is very
passion.
important, and that is why I had to just put everything else on hold,
Mm.
because I want to get to a certain level before I
Mhm.
can get back now into other
Yeah.
activities. You know,
Yes.
and
Okay.
I'm actually getting there. So
Okay. What's the third
um,
third lesson?
the third lesson is you know to um, to better yourself. To
Mm.
learn.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
to learn.
You're
You
talking to
know,
someone
especially
who I love learning. Whenever I bring a guest on who talks about learning, I'm like, big deal. Miss Delphine Bryan last week started by talking about learning. So powerful. Okay, so third one
right.
is learning. Why is
Third
learning
one
such a big
is
deal?
learning. It's very important because, especially me, like I don't have a designing background, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I just got into it
Mm-hmm.
by chance, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to figure out a lot of different stuff, like the kind of fabrics you use. It's a
Yes.
lot of this. It takes a lot. Fashion is a lot of different components,
Yes,
you
sir.
know,
Yes, sir.
the kind of fabrics you use, how to get your market out there. So it's gonna be
Yes.
like that's why I said at the beginning that it's fashion entrepreneur because
Yeah.
you have to learn the marketing part, you have to learn the creative part, you have to learn
Yes.
the
Yep.
like now I'm doing graphic designing too,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, because all those parts of the business.
It fit into the
So
business.
it
Okay.
takes all take those 3 points, you know. If
Yeah.
you're comfortable with those, then you're ready for business.
Yeah. Okay. So which would you say is more challenging? Is it the product sourcing? Is it the design? Is it the production? Is it the marketing? Is it the logistics? Is it post sales, customer service? Which one would you say is very, very challenging?
I'll say for me, the main
Yes.
challenge is the marketing. Because when it
Okay.
comes to the creativity,
Hmm.
is there.
Okay.
Like whatever I want to create, I can create.
Hmm.
I have a team of producers. Like my production house is always ready. Like whatever I give them, like do this,
Wow.
they're always ready. No matter the
Wow.
volume, they're ready.
Wow. Wow.
You know. So the main challenge now, and the customer service, I know about everybody that I've dealt with, they're going to testify for customer service.
Hmm.
We are amazing, and we always
Mm.
call our customers back or send them a message to follow up how the
Mm.
product was. You know, that's very
I
important.
love I love
You
to
know,
hear that. I love to hear that
yes,
because without good customer service, before long the brand will fizzle out. But if you have good
right.
customer support, then people continue to know they can count on you. And what's your turnaround time like? Like if I place an order today, say for 50 shirts, and I'm seriously contemplating to do that. What's your turnaround time? Because I want to
Our
get
turn
something.
our turnaround is 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
It's
Oh
two to
man,
three weeks.
I'm coming in
Yeah.
just I'm coming in about 2 weeks late because I have an event coming up in in Houston, Texas, where I'm gonna have
Mhm.
a lot of my agents there, and I don't know. Maybe we'll have to talk. We'll have to talk after this to see what for potentially future business. But for the ones that I'm coming in for next week, I don't think we can pull this off. But tell me, Don, Mr. Duplex Sachet, when you founded Africstar, there were obviously other brands from Cameroon and other parts of Africa. What gave you the conviction? What said to you, you know what, this is going to be different, and I'm going to be able to pierce through the market and be the number one guy or be the best that I can be? What gave you that conviction?
So before I started Afristyle Fashion, one thing about me is like I always supported our own. I
Mhm.
always when I see a brother or a sister selling a product, I always patronize, you know, to make them grow. But now I saw a lot of products that does not meet the standard, you know,
Mhm. Mhm.
and what uh, what I am trying to do now with my brand is not
Mhm.
to have that same kind of situation. I'm trying to make my brand
Mhm.
better. So I work
Mm.
a lot on the quality.
Okay.
I work a lot on the quality of my product, which is very important.
Yes.
You know, out here is we all have that notion, that complex. I know a lot of people that don't wear African fashion,
Yes.
not because African fashion is not beautiful, just because they doubt the quality,
Mhm.
you know, and they want to wear something nice, right?
Yes.
So I don't blame them. I've made a lot of people now dress only in senator wears and agbadas,
Mhm.
they wear senator wears to their office. Like my elder brother. My elder brother here, he that's all he wears now. He wears only
It's
agbadas
beautiful. Yeah,
or senator wears. You know,
yeah, yeah.
so these are things that never used to happen before.
There you go.
It's like when they
Right.
believe in your product, they know that okay, you have this quality, they
Yes,
will come for you. And
yes.
one other thing that is very particular about my brand is the sportwear. You don't see it a lot. You don't see sportwear in African print a lot around.
Absolutely true.
You know,
I've never
I
seen
know
it anywhere. So kudos to you.
The Chinese are trying to get into it. The Chinese are trying to get into it now. You know, with their low quality product and but yeah, African style fashion is definitely making the difference because when you
Mm,
wear it, you see the quality, you're proud
yes.
of it.
I've bought two products from you in the last, in fact, three in the last 3 weeks. I'm very satisfied with the quality. And to prove the concept, when one of them did not fit well, your distributor did not hesitate one single bit. She said, "Bring it back." I brought it back to her. She changed it right away, no questions asked. That was, to me, was refreshing. Sometimes in our community, that doesn't happen very often. So I want to applaud you. I want to applaud your fellow influencer, Edith Piqua, and the others. But let's go back into the future again. There are still major metropolitan areas that I don't know if you have a footprint there, or if someone in Milan, in Italy, someone in Paris, someone in Johannesburg, South Africa, where I worked for a short period of time, they want to have a freak style. They also want to look good. Let's be honest. It's not just people in North America and Europe that should look good. They want to get a freak style. Where should they go? They're getting frustrated. The other people don't have good quality. What do you tell someone
Right.
in Johannesburg?
So basically, that is it's actually a little challenging for now, especially the different African countries. But I was in Ivory Coast in January for AFCON, and I actually attended a network event there. Trying to see how we can get some of the products in Ivory Coast,
Mhm.
and we're actually working on that too. And in Europe is also a big market. Like I was in
Yes.
Europe, I was in the UK last year in April. I did a pop-up shop in the UK,
Hmm.
and then the outcome was good because a lot of people in the Europe wants to buy, but the shipping fare, like
Mm.
I'll admit the shipping fare is expensive.
Yes.
I have a DHL account, I have a UPS account, I have all those accounts, but still
Not for
they
you.
don't
Not
help.
so
The
much.
rates the rates does not make it
Okay.
better.
Okay.
So
That.
it's really hard. I've tried to see how I can make it better, but
Mhm.
it's a little complicated. So
Okay.
what I do now is once in a while, like even this summer I'm planning now to do another pop-up in Paris.
Hmm.
Because last year I did it in Birmingham.
Hmm.
The turnout was good. Um, I'm even tried talking to someone who can help there as a distributor.
Hmm.
So we're still working on that. I'm talking to someone in Paris too who can
Hmm.
help as a distributor. So if I
Mm.
get one or two distributors in Europe, that will help a lot,
Mm.
because um, people want African style fashion in Europe. But
There you go.
like I
I
said,
can imagine. I can only imagine because there's a huge community of Africans in Europe.
right, there is.
Yes.
Yeah, the only issue now is shipping from here.
Okay.
So if I get a distributor in Europe, that would be amazing.
Okay. How about you thinking already about Caribbean? Are you thinking about South America? Is that already something on your table you're beginning to consider?
Caribbean already. I have a big Caribbean market here in Toronto.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a lot of Caribbean. Toronto has a huge Caribbean
Yep.
community.
That's absolutely
Yeah,
true.
and they are actually the ones that patronize me a lot here in Toronto,
There you go.
and they invite me to all their events.
Yes.
Yes, so we I've I have the market here in Toronto, but
Okay.
now in the Caribbean itself,
Hmm.
I'm still working on that. I'm still working on
Okay.
that. Like I said, this year is the year that our mission is to get the different markets, right?
Okay.
So this year we're going to work a lot on getting the different communities. If
Mhm.
I go, if I have any connect in the Caribbean, if any of your audience has a connect in anywhere in the Caribbean,
Yes.
link us up. We can put up. We can start by doing a pop up shop there, and
Okay.
then we see how it goes from there.
Okay. I don't have any specific quick tip on Caribbean, but I'm sure you know the largest community of people that celebrate Africa outside of Africa are not even in America, in Brazil. The largest
Mm.
community of African people of African descent. If you're looking at introducing products of African origin, it's Brazil. So keep your eye out on that. That's a big monster by itself, but
Oh,
it's
I
none of
didn't
my
really know that.
business. Yes, it's not none of my business, but because I am goofy guy, like to inject some ideas. Go check it out. The
Right.
largest community of Africans anywhere outside besides the continent, it's Brazil, and then of course United States and the rest. But let's say somebody wants to look you up online, they want to buy online, where should they go to?
So we have a website. It's www.africstyle fashion, Afric with a C, so AFRIC
Mhm.
stylefashion.com. We have
africstylefashion.com.
yeah, africstylefashion.com.
Mhm.
We have an Instagram page, africstyle_fashion. We
Mhm.
have a Facebook page, africstyle fashion. We have a TikTok page. TikTok
Mhm.
is a new big thing, right?
Okay, it is a
Yeah,
big thing. Are
TikTok
you able to
is a
get
big
sales? Are you getting sales on
platform.
TikTok?
I've started getting a lot of sales of TikTok.
No
That is why
kidding.
when I heard the banning TikTok in the US, I was like, oh my
So
God,
that's
that would
not
be a
good.
big goal
That's
for
not
us.
good. That's not good.
Yeah, because
uh, I'm
most of
very
the
sure
sales,
they'll work something out. They'll work through something.
yes, I'm
They
sure
work.
about that too.
Yeah.
So most of my sales I'm getting from TikTok
Yeah. I'm from
from the
US.
US. So
That is incredible.
yes, so
Incredible.
TikTok is Afric Style Fashion. You can contact us directly through phone call, text, or WhatsApp.
Are
Uh,
you okay to share your number here? Because we never know who needs
oh,
something beautiful to
I'm,
wear. What's your number?
I'm
What are
very
the numbers
okay.
of your
I'm very okay.
collaborators? Yeah.
Yeah, so the number is 647-677-9440.
And for those outside of North America, they're not encouraged very much, but it's 1647. And then,
Yeah, +1 647-677-9440.
yes.
That's my contact. Or they can contact in the US, they can contact Edit. Edit,
Mhm,
I'm gonna give a number, a contact number.
mhm,
You contact Edit through +1
mhm.
682 583 6839. I repeat,
Awesome.
+1 682 583 6839.
Amazing.
So
Now,
you can
as
contact through a normal phone call, text, or WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. Okay, a lot of people use WhatsApp, so I encourage them to
Exactly.
use WhatsApp. Let's start to wrap up here. In terms of uh, uh, growth, you say you're positioning yourself now in many bigger cities where there's a good catchment of African immigrants, people of African descent, and people who appreciate African fashion, not necessarily
Well,
people from Africa.
Africa, yes.
Which community outside of African descendants or Africans in diaspora are showing appreciation for what you bring into the marketplace, if you don't mind?
Outside the African, like right now, the African Americans,
Mm.
does that answer your question?
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
African Americans,
The African
are
Americans
they,
and the Caribbeans,
are they resonating with that?
yes,
Okay.
yes. Especially
Okay.
when I launched the sportwears,
Mhm.
they love it.
Okay.
They love it.
Wow. Wow.
Like a lot of sales I'm making off from the website, they
Mhm.
are all mostly African Americans.
Very interesting. Okay.
Yes. Then
That's a good.
all the sales I'm making on TikTok now,
Mhm.
they're African Americans.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
So
Very interesting.
that is why I'm trying as much as possible to get into that community in the US. That's why I'm going to be traveling
Mm.
to the US a lot this year to
Okay.
speak with those influencers and see how we can work out something. Because
Amazing.
I want to get into the community. It's a big market.
It is a big. It's bigger
It's a
than
big market
it's
to get
bigger
into.
than I can even estimate. So let's probably do the final piece, which is a rapid question, rapid answer. Duplexo, I think that's your production name or your performance name, but let's use your business name. You are the founder of Afric Style Fashions. If
Right.
you go to uh, a shop to buy and you find Togo, you find uh, uh, senators, you find Agbada, you find some other exotic piece. Which one will you grab and want to go pay for?
Agbada.
Agbada? Okay. That means you like very formal, very,
Agbada. Because
very pretty,
Agbada,
very,
Agbada
very
gives you that confidence when you wear a good Agbada piece. It gives
dignity.
you that confidence. It
Okay.
gives you
Okay.
that power.
Okay.
You know,
Dignity.
especially if you
All right.
have your walking stick with it,
Yeah. Yeah.
you have a nice hat,
Yeah.
gives you that confidence,
Okay.
right?
Okay. Okay.
So I'll go with the Agbada first before I go with the senator piece.
Okay. I'm increasingly thinking that I have to adopt the Senator for even for my public speaking presentations for
Right.
non-African markets because most of my work is with non-African markets. So I want to be able to adopt the Senators, but I'm still looking to get the right style or get the best possible blazer that I can lay my
Mhm.
hands on. That's just a personal taste. Now, if you had a
So just
chance
to, just to add on that, it depends. It depends on the events too, right? It depends on what you need it for.
to some extent,
Yeah,
to
it
some
it
extent,
depends on what you need it for. If you let's say like you work with non-African individuals,
yes, yeah,
you have like a meeting,
yeah.
a good
Presentation,
yeah
presentation.
yeah a good senator will be fine. You
Yes,
know,
I like
I
the
like to
senator because it will make give me the ease of moving around.
right.
Agbada would mean it's a little bit too elaborate.
Oh
So
no, that's one thing about our agbada. We've modernized it a little bit. We don't make those big agbadas no more. You
okay,
know, so
okay,
most of those old agbadas you see, they'll come like right up down to your wrist, so
yes,
you have to be folding them all the time.
yeah, yeah,
I didn't like that.
okay,
It's too
yeah. I
much.
don't
It's
like
too
that
much
either.
work.
It's too
So
much work.
now most of our agbadas we bring them around
Okay,
here, so
okay,
you
okay,
don't need to fold it.
okay. Now
You don't need to fold it.
I love to see
Yeah.
samples of that. And
Mm.
when this goes live, we'll make sure that we'll carry some of those images so that people can understand what you're talking about. Now, the other
Mhm.
question is if there's a fashion designer that you would like to sit on the table with, who would that be? Whether they be African or non African,
And I would like to sit on the table with,
and
um,
have coffee and talk about business and talk about life and talk just
um, I have my friend Stan Lyon.
stand
He's
lion.
based in Maryland.
Okay. What is
He
it?
has a
What?
Stan Lyon clothing.
Okay.
We've worked together. We've done a show in Maryland together. And this guy, I'm seeing his passion. I'm seeing the amount of work he's putting into his brand,
Mm-hmm.
and he inspires me a lot. So he's
Stamp.
definitely someone I would like to sit and talk with. Like share ideas. I mean, we always talk, but it's
Yeah.
we would like to sit with him very often.
Okay.
To share ideas, and
And
then
he's Stan Lion. Is that the name?
yeah, the brand is Stan Lion,
Okay.
Stan, then
P.
Lion, Lion.
Okay. Very
Stan Lion
interesting.
clothing.
Never heard about him. African or non-African
No,
attires?
non-African, non-African.
Non-African. Okay.
Yeah,
Very good.
for African designers, uh, yeah, the guys that inspire me for African designers, most of them are in Cameroon.
Okay.
Most of
Yeah.
them are
Fair
in
enough.
Cameroon. They're doing amazing. Like you see their work, their
Mm-hmm.
creativity.
Mm-hmm.
We have our SM class. He's
Mm-hmm.
one. He's one pretty amazing designer back in Cameroon, and
Mm-hmm.
he's been coming to the US quite often to
Mm-hmm.
showcase his work.
Okay.
Yeah, so just like some of the guys that I would like to sit and talk with.
Okay. And who inspires you? This is generally speaking. It doesn't have to be. Uh, Ideally, someone in business, any business person that inspires you, whether they're from America, from Canada, from Cameroon, from any part of the world, doesn't matter.
You see, before I started Afric Style Fashion, we had this amazing lady, Kibonen.
Kibanimfi,
Yeah,
yes,
Kibonen.
Kibanimfi,
She was an inspiration. Like I was watching her work, I see what she does,
yes,
dressing all these
stars,
celebrities. I'm like,
yes,
oh my
yes.
god! Like I
I'm,
want to be
I'm,
her. You know?
I'm sure she's still doing that, right?
Yeah, she slowed down a
Okay,
little bit, but I think she's coming back strong. She's coming
okay,
back strong. Yeah, so she was like one of my sort of inspiration. Like I was looking up to her, you know. When I see
okay,
her dressing all these celebrities, I see her work, the quality of her work, the
yeah,
designs, the creativity.
yeah,
It inspired me a lot, you
yeah,
know. So,
okay. Out in the West or internationally, have you dressed any celebrities? Any one or two names you want to name drop?
um, not out the West, like in I've dressed in Nigerian celebrity, I've dressed in Uganda, I've dressed Eddie Kenzo.
Eddie
Eddie Kenzo
Kenzo?
is a
Eddie
very
Kenzo.
popular Ugandan artist.
Okay.
Um, I've dressed in Nigerian artist Scales. Scales
Skills.
is also a popular
Mm.
um, Nigerian
Is it
artist.
Afrobeat or
Yeah, yes, Afrobeat
oh,
too. Yeah,
okay.
it's good.
Okay.
Where else? Where else? No, other than that, it's mostly Cameroonian celebrities like Loco,
Mm-hmm.
Stephanie Toom, Mr. Leo,
Mm-hmm.
Salatiel,
Mm-hmm.
uh, Petit
Mm.
Pays.
Oh, Petit P,
Uh,
that's a big one. That's a
oh yeah,
big one. That's a big catch.
I actually went to his ranch in Bomono with Salatiel.
Wow.
Yeah, he received us well and gave him
Okay.
a couple of pieces. He
Hmm.
loved them. Where else? I mean, a lot of them.
Good work. I can see the trajectory is rising higher and higher and higher. Now, this final question: if you go to a table, it's a big event. There's food, there's drink. You find there's achu. There is water fufu and arrow. You find there is bongo chopi. There is which one would you likely grab and put a little bit into your plate?
Achu.
Achu, achu. Okay, okay, okay. This is the
I
second time
actually have
today.
a painting. I actually have a painting of Achu here, right
No
in
kidding.
my
No
living room.
kidding.
Yeah, I have a
Yeah,
painting of Achu.
it's a
It was actually
beautiful.
done by the same person that did this one. She's
Wow.
in Maryland. She's called Shiri Achu.
Shiri Achu. Who loves
Yeah,
Achu? Okay.
yes. So I
Okay.
like the same like Achu. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they actually did this painting, and
Is it a
then
lady or is it a guy?
the lady.
The lady. There you go. Wow.
It's a lady. Yeah. Then
Lady painter. Hmm.
yeah. Then she did the Achu one I have over there. So
Is she really taking her work into the mainstream just like you're doing? If she
oh
is,
yeah.
then I'll love for you to give me her contact because like I said, I'm a curator, but I am
Mhm.
extremely happy that you are the man who is behind this crossover project, taking African fashion from where it's been for millions of years and taking it into the mainstream and doing it so proudly, standing tall. I've seen some of the quality of your work. It's beautiful, it's
Thank you.
elegant, and I can see that this will continue to grow. And so I wanted to say thank you to Mr. Duplex Sachet for taking the time and bringing your work to the world and talking to Story Warrior on the Story Warrior channel. For all our viewers, please make sure go check Afrik Style Fashions because you'll be amazed the quality. And yes, above all, check out where he's going when he launches his half. Watch out, world. Watch out, world. Thank you so much, Mr.
Thank
Sache.
you.
It's been an
Thank you so
absolute
much.
pleasure. Absolute pleasure talking with you, and we wish you all the best. I'm sure we'll still have we'll have you to come back again some other time. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, Doctor, for having me.
Yes,
Have a
sir.
good day.
Okay, you too.